What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Diablo Research Institution. Appreciate you guys come by, like this damn video if you will, subscribe to the page, and swat that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. May you have many wives. Links in the description below. So I remember back when I was a little duck-billed platypus, when Diablo 3 was coming out. Actually, it wasn't. I wasn't quite a duck-billed platypus then. It was beyond that stage, but not far from it, alright? And I would play Diablo 1 up until the release of Diablo 2, and I played that like crazy. And then there was Diablo 3. And later in Diablo 3, they announced the Paragon leveling. And my initial thought was, this is great. I compared it to Diablo 2, where there was really not too much to strive for outside of busting your ass to maybe get one more level and get 5 more points, right? And 1 skill point. So at surface level, for whatever reason, this whole Paragon system just sounded interesting. But it didn't take long for me to realize that busting your ass to Paragon 2,000, 3,000 plus, it's just a constant, slow power creep with just nothing interesting. No highs, no lows, no dopamine spikes of any sort. It's just, you just start busting your ass to get really, really high. And each level takes longer to get through. And the only reward per level, 5 stat points, right? That's it. So, of course, that chase, in my opinion, got dull fast. So now we have Diablo 4 in its current iteration. And what I have to propose to you is what I think would be the solution for all of our problems with Diablo 4. So speculation has it that the new cap for your level is going to be level 60, right? And they're doing something with Paragon. I don't know if they're adding more Paragon boards or something like that. But here's what they need to do to make this game endlessly interesting. They have to expand the Paragon. You know how the Paragon is right now? What if they doubled it, or tripled it, or quadrupled it even? And what if, as you get to the point of getting to Paragon, like doubling it where it's at right now, tripling it, you just have these skills and boards way out in the distance, right? Each of which you have little stat points and stuff to get to the big nodes, the exciting things. Kind of like how it is now. But what if it was infinite? Huh? Yeah. Now I mean infinite in the sense of infinite as far as it can be created by mere mortals. You know how in Diablo 2 it just takes forever to get to 99? Like, I've never gotten to 99 in Diablo 2, and I've been playing that game for 25 years, alright? I got to level 93 or 94 tops, and that was it. But it was still a crown of achievement to get there. And that's kind of taken away from right now in Diablo 4. Everyone's going to be max level very soon. But depending on what they do with the Paragon, it could change things. So what if, similarly to what Diablo 2 was like, where it was almost impossible to get to 99, what if they make it like that, only even more difficult to get to max level? But Paragon, you can keep gaining experience for it. And there'll be nodes way off in the distance that perhaps you could reach if you theoretically play like crazy, you know what I mean? So this would truly bring the power back to those who are willing to put in the time and effort. And those will be the ones with the achievements. If they're willing to bust their ass and play this game, the more they play it, the more they indulge, the more they're going to achieve, and the more others will envy them. It kind of goes against the grain of just giving everyone the damn trophy. Because I know the common argument is, well, Iceman, I don't have enough time to play. Well, that's not the point. You're missing the point if you think that you have to get there. The point is you can't get there. Because this ladder, if you will, is burning up at the top, okay? This isn't about the end. Because there is no end. This is about the spiritual journey. Now, I made a video similarly to this one, only that was way back. Only I was talking about the gear. I know nobody wants that for whatever reason. I think there needs to be more depth with the gear. There needs to be runes, things like that we can always be hunting for and collecting as a sort of currency. Things that are really rare, things that you might not find an entire season. Just the more tiers of rarity, I think the more variability there will be in your builds and all that. Because you don't really know what you're going to get per season. But this video isn't about that. It's about the Infinite Paragon. What if they did what I propose, where you have a seemingly infinite paragon, but there's two reasons as to why my method isn't going to suck like Diablo 3's method. Diablo 3's method sucks for two reasons. The first one is that there's no euphoric highs in your Paragon leveling. It's just all 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. Then it takes longer and longer. 5 points. Level 2000, 5 points. Level 2500, 5 points. There's no kicks, you know what I mean? Like when you find an awesome piece of gear in Diablo 2, when you find a nice rune drop that you weren't expecting. Just how amazing that is. So if they could do something similarly with the Paragon, which they could, if they listen to my words, all right, expand that thing. So Diablo 3, one of the problems is it's just 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. What if it were just like how it is now, only more expanded? And it would reach so far that ultimately it would be unachievable to get all of it. You know what I mean? But the more that you play, the more experience you gain, the more far out you can reach. And there'll be like nodes like way up there where like you'll shoot lightning out of your eyeballs and stuff. And you could strive for those nodes. Things that are actually interesting, and they're not just 5 points. So that's one of the reasons why the Diablo 3 Paragon failed. In terms of it being an interesting endgame that you don't want to stop playing. Number 2 reason is the Diablo 3 Paragon system forced you, if you wanted to be optimal, to go down the greater rifts. You know what I mean? It was a chase to the bottom. You'd have to go level 100, level 120, level 150, because that was simply the most optimal way to gain the fastest amount of experience possible. So that ended up forcing you down that pyramid where ultimately it funneled you into 1 or 2 builds that were viable. Ultimately funneling into 1 build that's the most viable in terms of its efficiency. You know what I mean? So it basically forced you into that DPS defensive number crunch, and you just had to do that if you wanted to keep gaining optimal Paragon. So what they would have to do to fix that problem, because we've already discussed how they could fix the first problem. So how they could fix this second problem would be to balance out how you get experience. Like, you could balance it out in terms of the hell tides. How fast can you just go around and kill stuff? You know what I mean? you should get similar experience there than you do at the bottom of the pits. So, and then maybe they'll be like, if you do X amount of levels or whatever doing this, the pits, it'll incentivize you to go and do Hell Tides now instead for experience. Then it'll incentivize you to go and do the new event, whatever that is, the council event. I can't remember what it's called. The Tormented something or another. But you know what I mean? There'd be like this sort of incentivizing cycle so that you're not just always forced to do the damn rift. And then it's just dull and boring and you're forced to do the same build. Now, they should still reward you the same with the rifts. So what I like about the rifts is it does give you some incentive to go deep into it because you can get the materials a little faster. But the good thing about it is you don't have to go that deep. You can only go level 60, and you could, from level 60 pits, collect the highest crafting materials possible. So you're not forced to make that one build that can run the end game content the most optimally to collect that stuff. You know what I mean? So there's still reason to do that. But this whole thing that I propose will stimulate build variability more so than what we've seen yet in any Diablo game. And it will reward you for the effort you put in. You know what I mean? So that's why I think this method would be the best way to go. I know that a lot of you guys are against the whole Infinite Paragon thing. And at first glance, I would be as well. Because I didn't like the Diablo 3 method, but it was for those reasons. There's nothing fun about 5 points every level to eternity. You know what I mean? With no highs and lows. There's none of that. So if they could do that where all of a sudden you'll have goals to strive toward. Like you're going to reach for that node, like at level like 2,000 or some shit. Just how interesting that would be. And then if they were to balance out the experience to where it ultimately rewards you just for putting in time and effort. You know what I mean? And not just, well, you got to do the deepest pits to get the most experience, because that's just going to funnel all down to one damn build and everyone's going to be running the same damn thing, just like what we get in Diablo 3. And if you like that method, you can go and play Diablo 3. But if you want a better game, then they should do this. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have to go work for these motherfuckers or not. I don't want to. I'll probably find some boys on my Discord and have them do it, and they'll get paid, and I'll just get a little bit of kickback or whatever. But if you guys think I should be the head executive producer for Diablo 4, give me a hell yeah in the comments, because I will get this shit done, and this is what it needs. But regardless, this is the recipe for a good Diablo game. This is the future of Diablo, all right? And if they do this, it's going to be amazing. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on these matters. Do you think what I propose would be a great solution? And if you don't, let me know what you think the great solution would be. And again, I know that the common argument is, well, the problem is I don't have enough time to play, so I'm going to come home from work and log on, and there's going to be these guys who are playing all damn day, and they have like their Paragon way out more than what I have. My answer to you is that's tough shit. You know what I mean? It's just going to be what you put in is what you get out. So I think it's going to be, and it's going to keep people playing. Right now, we see everybody's quit because it's just not fun. It's just, even though we're going to envy those people and we're going to complain and bitch that, well, I want what they have, but I don't want to have to work that hard for it. It's going to keep the cogs spinning, and this is going to drive us to play. Because the allure in these games, whether or not we realize it, it's not getting to the top and just standing still. The allure to these games is the sort of sensation that there is no top and that it's just a continual power growth. You know what I mean? Just more power and ascension. That's the allure here. So you're seeing it wrong if your argument is, well, you're misled if your argument is, well, Iceman, I can only play a couple hours a week. That's not the point. The point isn't getting to the end, because there is no end, and there shouldn't be. If there was, it'd be dull and boring, and it'd be death. The point is ascension. You know what I mean? So if you're playing 1 hour a week compared to 100 hours a week, you're ascending nonetheless whenever you're playing. And that's the allure here. That's the allure in these games. Now, there is one acceptable argument, I would say, against this, which is PvP. You'd be like, well, Iceman, this is going to screw up PvP, then whoever puts in the most work is going to be kicking everybody's ass. And my answer to that is, yeah, that's just how it is, unfortunately. But they could have a few nerfs to that if they wanted to, or a handicap where you could opt in for a PvP that ignores your Paragon board. So then you're just PvPing against people who reached max level 60. You can get there in like an hour, I'm sure. And that's that. Then it's just all comes down to your gear and how you play and your build. You know what I mean? But as far as I see it, they should just let the chips fall where they may. And yeah, tough luck. You know what I mean? If somebody busts their ass playing this game a hell of a lot more than I do, maybe they should be able to kick my ass in arena. But I mean, that's how I see it. And let me know what your thoughts are this in the comments below. I mean, they really might be moving towards this direction. I don't know. It seems like they brought the cap down to 60. And I talked about that in my last video. And there's speculation that there could be a sort of infinite Paragon. What I hope it isn't is what it is right now. And then the infinite aspect is just a little 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. That's just dull as fuck. You know? So they can't do that. They got to have nodes and just tiers and tiers and tiers and tiers and tiers added so that we can strive to get up there. And the more you invest in your time in playing, the more of these interesting nodes you can grab onto. You know what I mean? But that's what they need to do. So comment below your thoughts on these matters. Like this video if you guys will, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace be with you.